This video is designed to help you get started with the Flipgrid discussion. We will use Flipgrid throughout the semester, and I want to make sure you guys know how to use it and all the features so that you can create the best response possible. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click the Record a Response button. This will load the Flipgrid window. You'll see here how long your video can be. It can be shorter, but it will show you the maximum length of a recording you can have. And all you would do to dismiss the recording is just click on the screen anywhere and you're ready to go. Now, there are some options at the bottom here. So you can upload something that's pre-recorded. This is a big one. As we get later into the year, if you want to demonstrate that you know how to do something, you can hit the record screen button and it'll record whatever's on your computer. And that's pretty cool. Now, as far as effects goes, this is where, for our first post about graphs, this could be really useful to you. You can have fun with the filters and the frames and the emojis if you want. But the board button is what I really want to focus on. So the board button, you could put a grid, a graph, or even notebook paper, or just a solid background. And so I'm going to go ahead and pick graph because we are going to be talking about motion graphs. And you can decide if you want your whole screen to be the graph or if you want your whole screen to be your face. And you can toggle back and forth between the two. Now you can layer your effects. So I've added a board. If I wanted to add a drawing, I can now pick a color. I can pick a thickness for the line. And I could actually draw a graph right here onto this grid paper. So if for the graphing portion of this activity where you're creating your own motion graph, you can go ahead and literally draw it here in Flipgrid if you want. That's one of the options. Now, let's say that you decide, that's not for me. Maybe I don't want to do that. You can opt to, you can undo it. So if I want to undo the drawing or start over, I can do that as well. If you took a picture though, you could then add what they call a custom sticker, and that's where you could upload a picture of a graph you maybe drew by hand or drew in Google Draw or Cami, like a screenshot that you've taken for your graph, and you could add it that way. So you can either hand draw it or you can add it this way. When you are telling your story about your graph that you were assigned, I highly recommend include a screenshot of your graph so that you can talk about it while recording. I'll give you an example of what it looks like when you're recording. So to record, you're going to hit the camera button. And it gives you a little countdown. And so you can choose the effects while you're working. You can draw, record. So I can draw and it's recording it. But let's say I messed up and I'm like, oh, I don't like that line. I can hit the redo button. And it will let me delete the clip that I'm working on. Now I can pause my recording. And let's say that I want to change the picture that's there. Or I want to change the board. So I'm going to change it to a different board. Now when I keep recording, I'll have a different board next to my video. And as you can see here, my video is flipped. So I can actually mirror my video so it looks like I'm pointing at the screen here. So you can make sure that you're facing the correct way by using that mirror video button. So I just wanted to show you that you can change, you can switch up the board, you can switch up the photo, you can decide how much is visible on the screen at any time. If you decide you don't want a board at all, you can hit this button and it gets rid of it. So that is a quick tour of how you can use Flipgrid and the features in it. Once you've recorded something, so I'm going to go ahead and record. Hey, how you doing? You can hit the next button. And that's where you can review. So that's where you can trim, edit, add more to your video. And it gives you like a little countdown. And so you can choose the effects while you're working. So you can actually see what it looks like. You can add more video clips. So you can kind of edit in real time, which is pretty awesome. This button up here lets you add a sticky note if you want to put some text in there. If you want to show the topic at any point, this brings up the discussion prompt again. So you can make sure that you've hit all the points in the prompt. And this is just an example. And once you're done, you would hit the... And it gives you like a little countdown. And so when you're done, you'd hit the confirm button and that would upload it. If you decide like, nah, I want to re-record, you could hit delete clip. It'll make sure you really want to do it. And then you can try again. So that is how Flipgrid works.